Hello and welcome guys to another lecture. In this lecture I am going to introduce you guys to the Unity editor and all the different options and panels we have available inside Unity editor. So let's start with the top left. First of all, we have these 6 tool buttons. The first one is hand tool, then we have move tool, rotate tool, scale tool, rect tool, and move, rotate or scale selected objects tool. So these 5 can be toggled by using the Q, W, E, R, T, Y buttons on the keyboard, and as well as selecting from this menu as well, like this. What they do, the hand tool provides you with the ability to move the whole world around, and the next move tool allows you to move any object around in the world. Similarly, the rotate tool allows you to rotate any object in the world in any given direction, like this. And the next scale tool gives you the ability to change the scale of the object in X, Y or Z direction. Similarly, the rect tool is for 2D images or the canvas, and the last one is for providing you with the functionality of all these 3: move, rotate and scale one. Next we have toggle tool handle position. Currently it is in center. If we change it to pivot, it changes the tool handle and places it the active object's pivot point. And for now we change it back to center of the object. Then we have the rotation toggle. We can change it from global to local. So the global rotation of this object is 0 0 and the local object rotation is different. So you can toggle between the rotations and see it over here like this. Then we have the play button. When you hit this button, it starts the scene and starts running the game and start running all the scripts. Then we have pause button. We can pause the running scene on this, and then we have a step button as well. Then on the right side we have different options for services: the collab service, then we have the cloud build service, then we have accounts, then we have layers, and then we have the default written over here. It is basically the style of the editor you want. You want 2x3 4 split, you want 4 different scenes over here, or you want default, tall or void. You can create your own layout and save it from here, or you can revert to the factory settings from here. Then we have the hierarchy panel over here. In this tab you see the active scenes currently in edit mode and all the objects inside the current scene. You can add another object or scene from here, the create menu. By clicking here you have all the different options to add objects in this scene. Then you have the scene properties button over here. It allows you to save the scene, discard the changes, or add a new scene, or even add the game objects into the same scene. Then we have the scene tab. It basically shows us the virtual world we are building our game into. And then we have a game tab. It basically renders whatever our camera is seeing right now. So for example, our camera is seeing nothing, it's empty, so it's showing nothing. And down here we can change the different displays attached to our computer, and we can set different aspects of our displays. We can set the scale of our screen as well. Then we have maximize on play. For example, whenever you hit this play button, it maximizes this screen to the whole screen. Then we can mute our audio as well. We can show and hide the stats of our game in terms of FPS and the callbacks and everything else. Then we have Gizmos. Next thing we have is asset store. It's basically the store where you can download or purchase plugins and assets from Unity store. Similarly, next thing we have is inspector. It's basically the properties of whatever is selected over here. So for example, if we have main camera selected over here, it shows that I have selected main camera, and whatever the tag is selected with this object, whatever layer it is on, then all the different components attached to this object. So for example, we have transform component attached to our main camera. Transforms are usually attached to almost all of the objects in our scene to know where they are being placed in the virtual world. Then we have a camera component attached to it. Then we have different settings for this component. Then we have a flare layer and audio listener. We can add different components to this object by clicking this add component button, and we get a whole list of the components available to us. We can either type over here or select from the menu over here from ourselves. For example, this. Then we have the project tab, which basically shows all the assets we have in our whole project. It can include all the scenes, all the scripts, or the 3D models, and a whole bunch of stuff we create while creating the games. Then we have console tab. It basically acts as an output tool for Unity. Whatever we play inside Unity editor, and we get different kind of errors, the warnings. Then we can put some debug statements inside our code, and the debug statements, errors, and the warnings get printed over here.